Hi everybody, it's Dali here. I hope you're all well. The sun is starting to shine eventually. I think we're just starting. Oh, I think we're on now. So it is lovely out here. It's a bit muggy, but it's really, really nice. I hope you're all having a good week. I hope you've done some crafting. And we're looking forward to seeing some of your sunny yellow entries this month. It would be really lovely to see those. We've also got this weekend the workshop for the summer bloom. So I think I'm just waiting for a few people to join because I'm a few minutes early. Oh, I see one person joining. So I'll just wait for a few more minutes before I talk to myself. So hopefully you can hear me and see me. Well, not see me, but see some of the samples I'm going to be working with today. And yeah, I'll wait for a few more of you to join. And see how you're all doing. I hope you're all well. And then I can make a start. Hopefully you can see that Paul's written a comment. Oh, look, it's only 4 o'clock, so I am a little bit earlier than usual. So I will wait for a few more of you to join before I start. Good morning, Gloria. Good morning, Tracy. So it's very hot, Gloria, is it? Yes, I know. I hear Dad was saying there's a heat wave. How hot is it then? So I can only see a couple of you on live, but I can see your comments. So maybe I should make a start. So I just wanted to remind any of those who have signed up for this weekend's workshop for Summer Bloom. I'll be setting up a closed Facebook group for that. If anybody still wants to join, let us know. Obviously, we may not be able to get the products to you now in time, but you can still watch it on a private online version. So that will be doing with the Summer Bloom pad, the Shock Art Summer Bloom pad. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know, Gloria, you're doing it, Peggy, Chris, Kirsty, I think Angela's doing it, and Natalia's doing it. So there's a few of you doing it. Good afternoon, Jill. Oh, 37, Gloria. That's hot. But it's cooler than it's been. I hope the smoke's a bit better as well. So just to let you know that this is this Saturday. That will be from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock UK time. So I think that is 10 till 12 Canada time. So 10 till 12 on Saturday Canada time in the morning, and 6 till 8 in the evening in the UK. So that's this one, the Summer Bloom one. So just to remind you. So I will be sending out invites for the closed group. Then on the next one we've got is this one, which is on the 24th of June. We've got one space left. That's all we've got now. So I know, Art Angel, I've put one aside for you, but there's just one of these left. So this will be on the 24th of July. Sorry if I said June. July. Okay, so those are those two projects. And then finally, the last project I want to remind you of is the beautiful vintage Christmas box using the shades of Christmas. So this one, we have got the boxes back in. So hi Rosalie, we've got these boxes back in. So if you want to get some of these boxes on their own, then that's fine. If you want to buy the kit, that's fine too. And we've got a few of you already signed up for this, so I'm really looking forward to you guys joining me. And this will be the 31st of July. This is a 3-hour workshop, and I'll be teaching this. So again, it will be a closed group. So, but it is absolutely beautiful. or I like it anyway. So yeah, so we've got 3 projects there. So anybody who missed it, we've got the owl, we've got 1 left, and we've got summer bloom this weekend. So those are the 3. So I thought I would start you off on the Sunny Yellow challenge because we haven't had as many entries as we'd hoped at the moment, but that might be because Sunny Yellow is a funny colour to use, I think. We don't use yellow very much, so today I'm going to show you how to make this card. So this is one of Pip's first stamps. It's called Stay Wild and Free. We've also got a matching rice paper, so it's absolutely beautiful to work with. Oh, thank you, Gloria. Yes, I'm looking forward to doing those 3 workshops too. I don't usually do workshops just purely because I'm always designing, but I will be doing some. We've got a new book coming out in August, August. And we've got another new book coming out in September, but I am working towards a big project for September with Pip, and we will have some news on what that's going ahead next week, and it is really, really exciting. I'm really excited by it, but we will be sharing that with you, especially this group. So this is what we're going to be doing today. So just a simple mixed media card, but you can use any of your stamps, but I thought I'd put a little bit of yellow into our lives today. Okay, so how did I go about doing this? So let me show you how I made this. So the first thing I did was I just got some cardstock. Now you can take any cardstock. I've got a thinner one here. I'm not sure. I'm going to see if it will work with that, or I can do it on the white one if it doesn't. But I'm just going to take this, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of score the paper at approximately sort of every sort of inch. You can choose what you want to score at. We're just going to score it at every inch. I'm just doing it roughly. It doesn't matter if it isn't every inch, but it will look better if it's every inch. Yeah? And I don't mind if I've got a little bit extra because I'm just using this as my basis. Now on the other side you'll see that it's you won't see it here, but you'll see it's a little bit more bumpier. Okay? Now we do this technique a lot with the foam. So what we usually do is we cut strips of foam, and we usually do this, but this is a cheats way of doing it and getting this similar effect. Not as much depth, but that's one way of doing it. And what I mean about the foam, I will show you. I've got one. I think I've got one started. Did I have one? No, I've taken it out from here. So I was going to show you. Okay, so let me move that out of the way. So now what I'm going to do is, I've got my card and I've got the folds at the top. If you wanted to make them a bit more creased, then just go in and just go across those score lines, and that will give you, a little bit more of a thickness. So you're just going in the same directions, no valleys or folds, just carrying on. So this is a really nice technique, and you can do this for any of your projects. This is just one of those techniques. Okay. So once you've done that, so like I say, we usually do this with the foam, but today we'll do it with just cardstock, but you can do it either way. So what I'm going to do now, it's quite reasonably thin paper. So what we're trying to do is create this background, yeah? So let me start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the earthy brown, I'm going to use the metallic yellow. You can use any brown, any yellow, and I'm going to use the Broken China Distress Oxide. So those are the main 3 items I've used in white primer. I've used a bit of ivory as well. So. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of brown onto this. Add a little bit of water to, and just use my messy one. So did this morning, and I thought, oh, this will be nice. So we don't want it too wet, she says, making it really, really wet. I'm just going to grab some kitchen towel. So we don't want it too wet, because otherwise it will just soak through the card. Let me take some of that water off. Let me put a little bit, just a little bit here. There we go. That's better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it across. So it's a little bit wet, a little bit dry. So it's not like drenched, but it's not dry. You just pick up a little bit more ink and go in. Okay, so now you'll see where those lines are as we go through the project. And you can go in either strokes. You don't have to go one way. So you can take it. And each time you do this, it will be different. Okay, so now can you see those? It's a really nice way to create a wooden effect as well. And you can come in and do that. So then I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. And you can go back in again as well and do that. And this is such an easy technique. I just think it's really, really effective. And then take a little bit of that lovely, it's like a golden yellow actually, this one. I've got a bit of brown on it, but don't worry. And then come in, and again, sort of each time you do it will be different. It's like a really beautiful yellow, really warm actually. It's quite a sunny yellow, but there we go. And again, you've got this really nice technique. It gives you such a lovely background. It's really, really easy to do as well. Yeah. Hi everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a quick blast. Now it does look like a piece of fabric actually. I mean, it's amazing what you can do with a bit of card. Then I took the Distress Oxide, this is broken china. And then what I've done is I've just gone in. Yeah. And again, you've created another layer there. Now, I'm going to do it a little bit this way as well, because I quite like the effect that gives. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to use my piece of paper, and I'm just going to rub everything back, nice and dry. It sort of also rubs in that. And what you can do also is just add a little bit of spray to it. Let it soak in a little bit, and then just lift a little bit off the top. Just gives it another, just a little bit, another. Now you could now start stamping the back of that if you wanted to. So if you wanted to, you could go in. This is the stamp I'm going to be using today. It is a beautiful stamp. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's really large, and it's a really, really nice stamp. So what you could do is if you wanted to, you could do some of the smaller stamp. Let me just get my stamping block, and we'll do some of those in the background just to give it a little bit more character. So I'm just going to come in with the black. I quite like the black on that. And so what we can do is just stamp off, and it is so, so beautiful. I'm making it a little bit different to what the other one was. So close my eyes, I think. That's the easiest way to do these things. So, okay. So obviously, remember, we are going to be stamping the girls somewhere. So if you don't want to cover all of it, then you don't have to, but that would make a really, really nice background. Yeah, there we go. Let's do any of the sort of dry bits off there as well. That makes that clean. So you've got something, you could easily just do that as a background, and then you could actually matte and layer that on top of that as well. So can you see how lovely that would look as well? And then rematte and layer it on something else. So that's one way of sort of doing that. So I'm just going to dry that background first. Okay, so now what I want to do is just make sure everything's dry. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take some of my white primer and I'm going to use that with my dirty brush. Dally, if she didn't have a dirty brush. My dad says, is that the only brush you possess, Dally? He's always saying that. So I'm going to sort of put my girl, in fact, let's have a look. You can stamp her on a block, you can stamp her however you wish to. So say if we're going to bring her in here, we roughly know where she's going to go. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make that white space for her. And I want to bring in, I still want some of the background to show. So this is a really nice way to create this background. And you'll see what I mean. And I'm only doing it where I'm going to have her, but I do like the idea that we've got this sort of effect in the background. But even that looks beautiful. You know, it's amazing what you can do with a piece of paper. Okay, so this also gives it a really nice base to stamp onto. Hi Joan. Okay, so we've got that now, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp onto that now. So I'm just going to put my paper in there and I'm just going to go for it. Okay, now I've chosen to have this corner. The reason I'm going to do this, and is that I am going to double stamp this when I come back to it. So just to let you know, I've done it that way, but I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so all I'm going to do is now just take the VersaFine and just stamp this. Okay. I've got a wobbly table again. Something's making funny noises. Okay, so I'm just going to come in and just stamp her. Press on her a little bit. I think I overpressed, to be honest with you. This is sort of a bad habit of mine. And you can see how beautiful she comes out. And you can see you've still got some of that colour in the background. Now you could just leave it like this and not colour it. Yeah? And what I did on this one is I've coloured it, but I've also cut a circle out. But isn't that beautiful as well? So if you wanted to do something like that. So I'm going to show you how I coloured it and how I've got to the next stages. Try not to make everything. So I'm going to just quickly dry that. And in fact, you can make 2 cards out of this sheet of paper now, because what will happen is I will cut out a circle here, yeah, and then I will still have this bit here left, yeah. So you could use if you haven't got a die cut, you can just use a circle and cut around it. You don't have to do it in a circle, you could do it in a hexagon, you could do it in any shape you want to. So then what I did is I used my colour brushes, which I love, and I will, you know, and I decided as we're doing the yellow challenge, I'm going to use the yellows, I'm going to use the bluey, greeny colours, and those are the 4 colours I chose to do. And this is how, and then I've got the brown to finish it off, and I'm keeping Paul up. So you'll see how quick it is and how easy it is. Now I'm not thinking about it, and I'm just coming in and I'm just picking certain areas. The clean colour brush has got the most finest nib in the world, I think, and they just flow. And when I had these made when I worked with Kuretake and had these done, oh seriously, I was over the moon. Kuretake is an amazing brand. Now if you wanted to make this, go back in again and do this a little bit darker when you first stamped it, please feel free to. So I'm just coming in, and obviously each time you do this you could use your colouring pencils. It is so therapeutic, but you'll see how quickly this actually comes together. And I really am not thinking about it. So, but that's Dali, isn't it? She never thinks about it. She just goes for it. So, and because of this nib, you've got so much control. So much control. And really, the chances of you going outside a line, and you could take your time because there's loads of detail in this stamp. So if you really wanted to go to town with it, then you could easily do that. Can you see how easy it is for me to do this? And how quickly we can get through this just by picking a few colours. Start to bring a bit of blue into this. The blue is so vibrant, and it really works well with the background as well. And you could colour parts of it. You don't have to colour all of it. You could do elements of it. But what this does is it really gives you such a beautiful image. And the stamps are already doing all the work for you. I mean, look at that already. Oh, it's gone. Paul? Oh, it's back again. Paul did something and I thought it had gone. I used the gesso, Gloria, purely because gesso has a chalky finish and a white paint would give it more harsher finish, and you wouldn't see the strokes as well through of the colour underneath. So it's a very good question, but that's why I've used the gesso. I find the chalky finish really does make a difference. And I like that look. I actually think it's really nice to gesso your pieces before you do any stamping when you're doing something like this. So I'm just coming through it. I find this so therapeutic. It's just unbelievable how therapeutic it really is. And again, don't overthink it, just go for it, go with the flow. And you'll find it will work for you. And because of the design of this stamp, there's nothing in here that's right or wrong. I've chosen these colours just because I wanted to have the same colours as the background. You could easily change this by doing different colours. This could be a pink, totally pink girl. It could be a totally, oranges, reds, you name it. It could be anything you want it to be. And like I say, just go with the flow. Just whatever makes you want, feel you like doing. And I really honestly think you cannot go wrong with this because of the design of it. So I'm just taking a few of the colours and just going for it. And I'm doing this quite quickly, but you at home would take your time and do this. So again, really easy to do, not difficult at all. And just go in, do, and these blend really well as well. So if you want to have something that blends really well for you, then these will blend really well. They're watercolour based, so they work really well. They were designed to go with our ranges of stamps, so that we had these. So you can see, and I really am not really taking much care with it. I'll put that in a different colour and bring this one in. And as you can see, we're nearly there with the colouring already, and it's not taking me very long. And it is really down to these pens. It's got nothing to do with my skills of colouring. It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's just the pens that just make it so much easier to colour. Yep, and look at that, nearly there. I just find this so therapeutic to do as well. It's just something that you can easily really get involved in. Just carry on and do. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in her eye. I'm going to make her lips that golden yellow to bring it all together. Got a little bit more to do down here, so we'll bring some of the yellow in. But you can see how quickly I've brought that all together just by using these clean colour brushes. And have I got anything left? I could put a little bit of blue into that bit. Maybe a little bit of blue in that bit. So I'm just going over the top on some of the bits. So I haven't got much left to colour in now. And just look at the colours I've got. Maybe take a bit of the yellow there. That can fill that gap up. See how lovely it is to work with. Just colour that bit up there. Now, that is as much colouring as I'm going to do on this one. Can you see how quick that was? So, she looks absolutely beautiful. So you can see, now you've got a couple of options. I actually did this, but you don't have to do this. I went round the whole image in brown. And I made it, so if I show you, it really pops. Yeah? And that's what I did on this one. Okay? Now what I'm going to, now you could leave it like that, but what I'm going to do is, rather than doing the brown and taking my time to doing that, I'm going to actually re-stamp her. And that way, we still get that darkness without having to worry about it. Yeah? So just put that back in, take your VersaFine. Now you could have gone out, outlined it, you can use your white pens to bring out the detail like I've done. There's just so much you can do. And I love the way this works, because it's actually, it's quite unusual, a different way of doing it really, and you could do this with any of your cards. So just make sure it is in the right place. Now you don't have to do this bit, you could do this by hand or you just don't have to do it. So you're welcome, Gloria. So, and then all we do, and what that does, I've smudged it slightly, but what it does is it just picks up that detail again. I absolutely love that. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to the side. I'm going to give that a quick dry. Okay, so once you've done that, what we want to now start doing is we need to start to look at the next bit. The next bit for me would be to cut, is to take this bit out. Now we can either do this by drawing a circle, so if you've got something that can draw a circle, that's fine. If you want to die cut it, you can die cut it. So I'm just going to quickly, just give me 2 seconds, just going to quickly die cut this. I'm just going to bring it back to you. Let me go and grab that. Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to just show you because I think it makes more sense if I show you. So this is how this was in the paper. I've just cut this bit off. So, and I've lost a few of you. I'd only gone disappeared for a second. So there we go. We've cut this bit away so we can still use this bit. You could do other bits with it. So then you've got this bit where I've cut the circle out of. And if you didn't have a cutting circle, then you could use something else. Then what you can do is depending on the cardstock you want to put behind it, so if we put the blue just for now behind it just to show you, then I've actually turned this over. So it was like this with the image down there, and I've actually turned my image this way, and then I can put this here like that. So now can you see how that would work? So obviously my sheet of paper is shorter than my bit here, so we could even put it into the middle like this, and that would make a really nice card as well. So let me just trim this bit on the end so we can make it smaller, and then we can just put it onto that cardstock. And then the idea is that you put this down, it's like so. But before you do that, we're going to do all the brown edging. We're going to do all the splashes. Now you can do the splashes when it's down as well, but you won't be able to do the edging. Yeah. So you can see there that that's really nice. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut another bit out of this and border it there and put your sentiment down here. So again, you've made a totally different card. So each time you do these things, they'll be different. So, you know, again, you can see here, a bit more darker, a bit more grungier, a bit more ink used. I did actually smudge her, but there we go. And then you could easily, let me just fold that for you so you can have a look, have something at the bottom which would be a bit like this. I didn't do a very good job on it, but I just wanted to show you. So you could have a really nice border at the bottom as well, and then you could put your really nice sentiment, stay wild and free. So don't waste any of your cardstock that you've done. This can be used for lots of different things. You can make a really nice envelope out of this. So just a couple of folds. There's just so many things that you could actually do. So don't waste that. Again, you could use a slightly smaller circle and die cut that as well. Make it really nice if you put some flowers around it. But a really nice technique to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stick this down. No, I'm going to do the brown edging. That was what I was going to do. So we're going to take a little bit of the brown because it's really important now. We sort of bring all this together. As we know, splashes and all of that brings all of this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking my brush and I'm just going to catch bits of it. I don't need to catch it all. And we're just going in. Not too much. Now you could use a distress ink, but I actually like the paint effect. I actually like the texture of it. I like the fact that it brings it all together. So I think it's a really nice way to put something together. And again, I would do the circle bit as well. And it's just catching the edges. Don't worry too much. So you've got this really nice now sort of edge done to it. And it looks beautiful like that as well. So you could even do it this way and put a second layer on if you wanted to. Look, that looks nice, doesn't it? The other way. So that gives you an idea of that. She says putting it all on her hands. And then just keep going around your piece. Just bringing that in. And again, you know, you take your time at home. I'm just showing you a technique that I think is really easy to do with any of your stamps. Gives you really nice effects by just a little bit of, just doing a bit of this. So like, should we put this one on this side then? We can do. put it on this side this time. So you've got that bit. So can you see how nice that is already? Then what we want to start to do is we're going to do some, let's do some splashes. Okay. Add a little bit more brown to this. A little bit more water. And we've got I've got it all over my jumper today. And we're going to bring some splashes in, because the splashes is going to need a little bit more water on it. Is what brings, as we all know, brings it all together. Yeah, that should be better now. And I love. Now if you want to cover the girl's face up, you know, go ahead and cover it. Don't worry too much about it. If you want to add a bit more yellow, go away and add a little bit more yellow. So that's your first splash. And you can do them in whichever order you want to, but I do like to use a little bit of yellow lazur to do the next bit. So, love the yellow lazur. So I love the yellow colours are really, really nice. I could find another brush to do some flicks with, rather than using that one. This is probably not a very good brush, because it's very, very heavy. I really need my fan brush. Now Pip would be a lot more prepared than me. So you can see now I'm bringing a lot more yellow into it. And again, just go for it. And this will look really nice with the background if you choose a yellow background. And again, you've got real texture going on there. This is more grungier, this is less grungier. So again, each time, remember we do these things, each time they come out different. So you always have to just experiment what you like. You know, by the time you've matte and layered it, it will look really lovely. Put a little bit of acrylic. I don't really need, in fact, you know what? I'm going to use a little bit of the Distress Oxide, because I think I could do with a bit of blue splashes. So just put that down, spray that. There you go. And again, you can do the same technique with this. And this will just give you another colour. It'll bring in, because it's got a bit of yellow in it, it'll bring that green that I've put in the background, you know, my little lime colour. So there you go. And I'm quite happy with that, because that now gives it that finish. Yeah. So let me just move that out of the way. I've made more mess as usual. Right. So you can now see, let's bring this back in. We can now add that to that, and it looks really, really beautiful. Yeah? Can you see how the two are totally different? Now, by putting it on the background you want to put it on, you will change its look totally. So I'm going to use my trusted glue to put the first layer down. I absolutely love this. I love the way it all comes together so easily. Loving this glue. We're sending some to Pip this time. I forgot to send it in the last delivery, so it's on its way. Really recommend it if you're into anything you want to glue, anything into album making. It's absolutely beautiful to work with. I stuck down metal with it, I've stuck down fabric with it, I've basically stuck everything down. Obviously you have to hold it down when you stick things which are a little bit thicker. Look at that. So, so beautiful. And each time you could do something different. I mean, you could stamp another, you could have stamped a mirror image of that on the other side. So, you know, just take your time. Now here I want to make this a little bit higher. So I'll probably put a little a pad onto the back of that one. So it's a little bit raised. So like I was saying, I will be sending out a Facebook invite for the closed group for Saturday's workshop. So can you see how easy that is? And then you've got that little bit of shadowing there as well. Now what I might do is I might actually put this on the bottom, because why not make it a little bit different to the other one? It's always nice if you're going to have to, if you're doing it, to do it a little bit different. I'm going to cut actually on that crease. That'll give me a straight line as well. I always think if you ever want to create a straight line, then just put it onto your, you still got this bit, put it onto your, what I'm going to call it, scoreboard. That's a word. Again, we want to bring in a little bit of that brown. So let me just get my, oh look, I didn't shut that. Get a little bit of brown because I want to create that same edge. Now, if I should have done this at the same time, but then I thought, oh, I'll do this now. So just I want to give that edge. It doesn't matter, but you don't have to have it all the same. But this is a really nice way of doing it. And this could be, you know, this is like a piece of ribbon now that you could use. You know, it all brings it in together then. And then what we'll do is use a little bit to create a few splashes on that, because I think I need a little bit of splashes. So let's put some water on that. Oops, let's put a lot of water. And then just come in. And that will just bring it together with the other piece. Now you could have done this all together. I've done it separately. Okay, so let's give that a quick blast. Now again, it's just going to make that, it's just going to finish that bit off there. And then, you know, and then I'm going to just stick that down. I need to cut the edges a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit longer than the top bit because I actually like that look. And I'm going to just take some of that glue again. And the beauty of this is you don't even have to press it. It's so nice if it doesn't come out and go everywhere. If you need to cut the edges afterwards, just cut the edges afterwards. Okay, if you find you've got some just on the edge, it's really easy. Just wipe away and that's it. Yeah, comes off your hands easily. Look at that. Perfect there, isn't it? Right, so we've got this beautiful sentiment on this one, which is stay wild. It's stay wild and free. Just make sure you always have your sentiments the right way, especially if you're going straight on, and that would be upside down. Okay, so let's make this a bit straighter. And again, if you felt that you weren't comfortable with doing it this way, then you can always do it onto a piece of card and then put the card down before you stick it down. So then I'm going to put this one here. Okay, so it's just a really nice way to do a card. And you could be doing this with any of your stamps. A flower stamp would work, any stamp would work. So let's put this here. You know, you could do your lines the other way. I've got my lines going this way. It's really up to yourselves. And then you've got that really beautiful sentiment saying stay wild and free. It's a really lovely sentiment. Okay, so when you've got that, you can then put that against a really nice clean white bit. Yeah, and you will see that once you've done that, you can see how lovely that already looks. So you can see where I'm going with it. So if you wanted to cut a little bit off the bottom, just here, then you could cut a little bit off the bottom. But it just gives it a different card. And we'll put a few gems on that. Reach across. So it's just a really nice way to work. I've got 3 gems on this side. There we go. I love my gems. And then if you wanted to, you could mimic 3 here if you wanted to. It's up to you. But I really wanted to sort of show you that you could have something, you make it big, small, whatever you like. That's the same. Oh, so that was the yellow one. And then you've got this one. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to throw a bit of ivory at this, all over it. Not like all over it, but splashes. Yeah? Because I feel the blue is too, for me, too blue. Obviously you know Dali, she has to make a mess. If she doesn't make a mess, then it doesn't work for her. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of ivory down. We need a little bit of water, not too much. There we go. And then we can do a few ivory splashes. And this will help us break this blue up, because I don't like the blue. And also what happens is you can now bring the whole card in, and it gives it a really, really nice effect. And that makes it so much more. Oh, thank you, Jill. I'm the same, Gloria. You should see the state of my jumper at the moment. So you can see, by using just a few products, you can really create some really amazing cards. And it's so easy to do. So I just wanted to share that with you today. So I look forward to everybody who's joining me on Saturday. That will be 10 o'clock Canada time, 10 till 12 on Saturday, and UK it will be 6 o'clock in the evening till 8 o'clock. And just a quick reminder, then under my table, we'll be doing this Summer Bloom. So, oh, thank you, Gloria. So you can see that that's what we'll be doing. So this is with the Summer Bloom pad. Anybody who wants to sign up to this is welcome to sign up to it. We probably wouldn't be able to get it out to you by Saturday, but you can definitely follow us, because it will be recorded and we can send you a private link. So just to let you know. So that's where we are. So I want to say a big thank you to you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And it's just a little take on how to use your stamps, really. All of us have lots of stamps. If you don't have this stamp, we've got a few left. But it's PipART's Stay Wild and Free. And it's just a really lovely way to create these really nice little small masterpieces. Bye bye for now. Take care.